Hello and welcome. My name is Chris. This is the Lesson Jigsaw channel, and this is Have a Tea with me. We are here for English language conversation practice. So if you want to practice your English speaking and conversation skills, you're an English language learner, maybe there's some new vocabulary that you've learned and you want to practice, or you just want to practice general conversations, talking about the news, what's happening in your life, the weather, cooking things, whatever it may be. Whatever the topic is, you can come on through and have a chat to us. You will see a link in the chat. If you click on that link, you can come on through to the studio here and we can practice your speaking and conversation skills live here. Hope you're having a good day. When this is going out live, it will be or is the 9th of May 2022, a Monday. I didn't write Monday. Let's do Monday. Monday, the 9th of May, 2022. Hope you had a good weekend, whichever weekend you have. Hope you had a good weekend. Anything exciting happen? Let me know if you did anything exciting or anything of note, I could say. Did you do anything of note? Did you do anything of note? Or did anything of note happen? So basically, this is just asking, was there anything special or anything that's like noteworthy that you could, if you were writing to someone, you would write in that letter or that postcard, whatever it is, and you would write to them and say, oh, this thing happened. That's basically it. Or maybe it was just a boring old weekend. Just, same old, nothing special. But maybe it was just relaxing and enjoyable. Or maybe it was very active. Maybe you did lots of activities, maybe lots of sports, maybe lots of cleaning or repairs, maybe around the home, something like that. But it could be lots of things you could have done. Maybe you visited somewhere you never visited before. Could be. Maybe you went to the market, or you went to the shops and bought something exciting, or just went window shopping. That's always fun, to go window shopping. Of course, that's just looking and seeing what's there. I guess another word we use for that is browse, and because these days we often think of browse when we think of like the internet, and we have a browser. But it's the same idea. So the browser for the internet, like Google Chrome or what is there, like Firefox, that sort of stuff. Those browsers let you search the internet, what's around. The same sort of thing if you browse the shops. You just look what's around. Maybe you look for what's on sale and that sort of thing. So just a note, so this is Have a Tea with me, 12 o'clock Universal Time, Monday to Friday. We are here for English language conversation practice. Now, if you are watching on the replay and you would like to get in touch with us, or you just generally want to get in touch with us, our email address is chatonlessonjigsaw@gmail.com. That's chatonlessonjigsaw@gmail.com. Maybe you see this and you think, 12 o'clock Universal Time is not a great time for me because of many different reasons. You can obviously, with that email, send us an email, let us know where you are in the world. Maybe there's a particular day or time that might be better for you. So let us know and we can see if we can arrange a live stream to have a chat with you at that time. Obviously, when it's convenient for both of us. So hopefully something can happen with that. Okay, so we have been recently looking at news websites in particular from different parts of the world. Today we're looking at, this is a news website from Vietnam, and it does say the most read Vietnamese newspaper. So it's got to be good, surely. Now, obviously, this is the English edition, but there is, of course, a Vietnamese edition if you want to have that. And the regular I guess, sort of topics and ideas at the top. But it's very good. This one is very, because the other ones we've seen, like there's been a mixture of what's included, but this one is very much um, focused on Vietnam, so very local. Whereas other ones tend to be a bit more international. I guess, suppose because mainly the readers in a non-English speaking country of an English newspaper would be perhaps wanting to read news from back home, let's say. So even if we look at here at the, let me move this across, okay. If we look at the most read stories, they're almost all to do with Vietnam, and that sort of thing. So I guess it's a nice thing. They're certainly the most read, and you can see here as well, they have room for comments. And like we've said a few times before, we want to practice English. So the whole point of this is that you're practicing English, or using English, producing English. And so the two ways to do that are writing and speaking. So coming on here, clicking the link gives you the chance to speak. Of course, you can put some chat in the comments as well, but also things like this. If you find a newspaper where you can leave comments, maybe you need to register on the site. But certainly it's a good opportunity to at least practice. So get your thoughts together about whatever the topic is, and then write maybe a paragraph or so talking about your experience, your opinion, whatever the topic is. It's all of that sort of stuff is good. Now, if you just do it once, okay, maybe not the most useful, but if you do it as a regular thing, it's certainly very good. So we're going to just have a look at some of the headlines and see if there's any story that might be worth exploring a little bit more. But even just with headlines, you can get some nice vocabulary. And of course, with the vocabulary, I remind you again that it is important. So you may have a list after like going through something like this, and have a list of maybe like 20 words or something that you think, oh, these words are really good. I want these words. I'm going to try and remember these words. But always try and refine your list. So try and pick maybe 4 or 5 words for a day and focus on them. Prioritize ones, obviously, that are going to be more useful for you, that you can use pretty much straight away, or it's going to be high frequency for you. You're going to use it a lot, unless there's a specific special purpose coming up and you want to, or you think that that word or expression, whatever it may be, will be useful for you. Okay, but if you're trying to learn 20 words, it's a bit more difficult. But if you got 4 or 5, you're trying to use them, trying to speak with them, and trying to write with them throughout that day. Yeah, so regularly making an effort, not just writing one sentence. That doesn't really do much, unfortunately. But we like this word here. Economists propose scrapping COVID test requirements for foreign entrants. Of course, to scrap is to remove. Not really, of course, but to scrap is to remove. So they take away the COVID test requirements, and I guess the idea is that more people will come, because maybe that's a barrier. People don't want to be taking tests for every single thing that they're doing, I suppose. And so it goes on to say business experts have proposed that the government lift. So it's the same as we're paraphrasing here. Instead of scrap, we're saying lift. That's what we're saying, to remove, to lift coronavirus test requirements for foreign entrants and waive visas for travelers from the US and Australia to boost tourism. So to waive visas means it's like you don't need to worry about them. So maybe you just come through. So basically, as long as you've got like a valid passport, you can come through, maybe for a certain amount of time, which is common, I think, for some passport holders in some countries. Sometimes there's a visa waiver, so you don't need to apply for one before, and they give you perhaps a visa on arrival. Or you just don't need one at all, and they just stamp you, and you can stay for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, I don't know, depending on whatever the rules of the country are. But I guess anything that a country does to require less bureaucracy, less paperwork, we would say. But if you have to like apply for different things and you have to do different tests, you have to do more steps. The more steps you need to take, the more difficult it is. Even if those steps are easy, the more you have to do. Like if you see a list of like 5 things you have to do, it's like, oh, you have to, it's more of an effort than if you just need to basically buy a ticket and go, or just book a hotel or whatever it may be. So sometimes we say to have to jump through hoops. And so those hoops are like the effort you need to do. So maybe you need to apply for a visa, you need to do the COVID test, you need to, maybe some countries, maybe you need to have insurance, or maybe you need to, I'm not sure if I said it, apply for the visa, or maybe there's a different type of visa. Maybe you need to pay in one place and do something else somewhere else. Maybe I know some places you need to have something booked in terms of accommodation, or you need to have something booked in terms of like a guide, because some countries you have to have a guide to visit the country, and that sort of thing. So the more hoops you have to jump through, the more I guess it's more likely people go, oh, maybe I might do that later. And maybe maybe when everything's finished with COVID, I might go, because then there are less hoops to go through, that sort of thing. But yeah, okay. So let's continue on our journey, shall we? Difficulty getting bigger and smaller here with this screen. Anyway, so we have lots of this case we've got not a lot of the websites tend to have on the right hand side. They have the list of different categories and short versions of stories, or just the headlines, let's say. But here it's on the left, and so we've got authentic taste. I'm going to guess this is to do with food. Pot stickers with a crispy edge in Saigon point to Taiwan. Okay, I'm still gonna guess that's about food. I'm not sure with the pronunciation of Vietnamese words. I'm going to guess that's something like Cao Bang, maybe. A full guide to Vietnam's northern border province. There's a bit of tourism, I guess. Recruitment, Chinese speakers in demand as factories expand. Affluence. That's an interesting title. You don't see that too much. Maybe you might see wealth or something like that, or finance, or money, I guess is perhaps the more common one. But affluence is a nice title, but associated with all of those. So to be able to have a good lifestyle because you have a good financial situation. Vietnamese increasingly buying homes in the US. Nice opportunity. Travel hospitality firms brace for SEA, I guess that's Southeast Asia, games tourism boost. So to brace for something is to prepare for something. Maybe sometimes you've heard or seen in movies where people are on a plane or something and there's some emergency on the plane and they tell people, get in the brace position. So maybe that's the hands on the top of the seat in front of you and sort of preparing. And so that's the brace position where you're sort of preparing yourself for something to happen. Obviously on the plane, that's a bad thing, but in this case, it's a potentially good thing with tourism for the games. I guess it's like an Olympic Games sort of thing, but just for Southeast Asian countries. And Vietnam, US show appetite for stronger relationship. Okay, so an appetite, because we think of appetite when we think of food or we're eating. You know, maybe like when you smell food or something, or smell someone cooking, or you go through a market and you smell the foods and that sort of thing, your appetite, you feel like, oh, I'm hungry, I want to eat something. So it's that appetite is that want, that desire for something. In this case, the want is for a stronger relationship. And there's some type of analyst is analyzing that. The title here is advances, so I guess maybe it's to advance or progress the country there. So interesting. And it seems to be more about travel here, travel, finance, and business. General news. This is general news. It seems to be about Vietnam. So lots of very, very varied news here. Let me see. It's difficult to get a bigger name. Okay. 200 animals released back into the wild in central Vietnam. So maybe they were animals that were in the zoo, something like that. Woman sells adopted baby in China. A court in Ho Chi Minh City has sentenced a Vietnamese woman to 12 years in prison for selling it to China a baby she had adopted. Wow, okay. Vietnam records 2,175 new COVID cases on Monday. Okay. So raising the tally in the fourth wave since, I wonder if that can't be the tally just for the fourth wave, can it? Seems a lot just for one. Maybe it's the total, I'm not sure. But either way, it's 10,535,539. Okay. So Vietnam PM, Prime Minister, to have working week in the US. That's the, I guess that's the reason for the analysis that we saw before. And seasonal workers getting short end of the stick. There's an interesting expression, the short end of the stick. So it's like when you have some people have an advantage from a situation, other people may have a disadvantage from a situation. And in this case, the short end of the stick means you have the disadvantage from a situation. So in this case, they're talking about seasonal workers. So maybe it's, I guess the seasons we think of like maybe things like winter, summer, spring, autumn, and that sort of stuff. But I guess you can have other seasons as well, depending on maybe the weather, which is not necessarily directly related to the seasons. Or it could just be other times. Maybe there's a particular festival in a place, whatever it may be. As well, like in different countries, like say, for example, if they have Christmas, they may have a Christmas season, or if they have Ramadan, a Ramadan season, and that sort of thing. And then we can see the subheading here. So many seasonal workers don't have labor contracts despite lasting working durations. Wow, okay, it's a bit of a mouthful. Preventing them from accessing benefits like social insurance or sick pay. Okay, that's interesting. So I think in some countries, if you work for a certain amount of time in a place, you're legally considered like a permanent employee. But of course, that's going to depend on the different countries. So in Vietnam, maybe that's not the case. It's interesting they don't have any contracts. Even if you're having a short time work, I guess many places you have a contract, but maybe not, obviously, in some countries, obviously not in Vietnam. So maybe a short term, in theory they start off by thinking it's only going to be a week or a month or something, and it gets extended and extended. But they still don't have a contract, and maybe that goes for a long time. So I guess in reality, it's not really seasonal work, and that's perhaps the problem here, is because with seasonal work, they don't get those benefits like social insurance and sick pay. But if they were a more permanent worker, they would get them, and I guess that's the issue along those lines. Okay, let's scan back out. Then there's business stuff, talking about NFTs. So non-fungible tokens. Okay, Titan Hunters, a non-fungible token game developed in Vietnam, is currently the 21st most downloaded adventure game in Japan. That's interesting. Is that, I guess 21st is good. You don't often see an article saying, hey, we got 21st. But I guess it's all relative. Maybe 21st in Japan. I don't know, maybe it's a very, very big industry in Japan. So maybe 21st in Japan, maybe first in most other countries, perhaps. So that could be something there. Okay, so this was that story that we saw at near the top about that pot stickers with crispy edge in Saigon Point to Taiwan. So whenever Taiwanese cuisine is mentioned in Vietnam, the first term that pops up, that comes to mind, is tra sua, or milk tea. There's much more to it, of course. Okay. And I guess these look like dumplings, and I'm not sure what the ones are on the left. Okay, I guess they are the pot stickers with a crispy edge, because that looks crispy there. And that sauce there, that dip, looks very, very chilly, doesn't it? It's very chilly. Very chilly for most people, I guess. Or some people. Okay, so here we go. In Life, Doctor Strange 2 records highest first day ticket sales of the year. So it's a Marvel movie. So the Marvel superhero movie Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, grossed 19.7 billion Vietnamese dong, which is 850,000, just over 850,000 US dollars, I'm going to be guessing, on the first day of release. That seems pretty good. I imagine. And then there's the sports section, and then reader views, and then people can and then you can see as well, people can comment here. Comments are always good to read, I think. Always good to read. And then this looks like actually news from okay, this is the world section, of course. So they've got news about Philippines, China and Taiwan, Philippines, China and Indonesia. So a whole bunch of different things there. What could be a good story to review? Let's have a look at this one, opportunity. See if we can go in here a little look. So we saw the headline already, and that's the nice picture of the foreign tourists take a cyclo tour around downtown Hanoi in 2020. Okay, that's good. And the guy's got his camera there. Fantastic. Maybe he's doing selfies, or maybe he's doing like a live stream sort of thing, maybe. So let's have a quick view of some of the details here. So travel firms being companies or businesses, so travel firms and hotels are preparing products and services to cash in on. This is excellent here. Look at this verb here, to cash in on something. So it's like to make a profit, to make some money because of something. And then on what? On an expected tourism boom from Vietnam hosting the Southeast Asian Games, Southeast Asia's largest sport event. Okay, there you go. So obviously, I guess lots of people from the area are going to be going there to watch the games. And obviously the businesses want to make money, particularly in this case, the travel businesses. So, excuse my pronunciation, of course, Pham Ha, so chairman of Lux Group, which specializes in luxury cruise ships, said his company expects the Southeast Asian Games 31, I guess it's the 31st time it's been held in Vietnam this month, to be a great opportunity for Vietnam to boost its tourism image and attract more foreign tourists after over 2 years of border closure over the COVID-19 pandemic. I wonder if people from Southeast Asia need visas. Maybe they don't need visas and it's very easy for them to get in. That could be part of the attraction as well. So currently the company is offering several short tours for foreign tourists, including a 5-day journey exploration of the Tonkin for $639 per person, and a 2-day Halong Bay cruise for $242. I wonder what that includes, because I guess that doesn't seem too bad for 5 days. Well, does it? I don't know. I guess it's expensive, and I assume everything is included. If everything's included, it's expensive, but maybe not too bad, because you go to different places, your accommodation's paid for, you get the experience of being on a cruise. Maybe it's quite good. And the CEO of Flamingo Red Tours in Hanoi said his company would cooperate. This is a strange word to use there. It sounds a bit too formal, perhaps. But when we say like work with or collaborate, maybe it's another word that sounds formal as well, with 5-star hotels on tours that include architectural landmarks like the Opera House, Sofitel Legend Metropole Hotel, the State Bank of Vietnam, the State Bank of Vietnam building, and the government's guest house during the games, which will be hosted in Hanoi and several northern provinces from the 12th to the 23rd of May. Scan down a little bit more. So Hanoi-based Hanoi Tourist Company has said it will launch a cycle tour for tourists and runners to explore the Bat Trang village, famed for its centuries-old pottery craft. It will also offer a walking tour to discover French colonial heritages in the heart of Hanoi. Very nice. So what it's actually seemed, this is quite a good summary, I think, because what they've done is they've actually just spoken to some people, or got some contact with some people from the different tourist groups, and they've detailed. So there's these 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6. Okay, so there's 6 tourist organizations talking about what they're doing. So they're giving very good examples of what they're doing. That's interesting. So Southeast Asian Games 31 is expected to attract nearly 10,000 athletes, coaches, and officials from ASEAN countries and tens of thousands of tourists. Fantastic. That's very good. And I guess for any place that's been closed, if you have some type of event, it's going to be very, very good to give a quick boost to people, and then they can maybe fix up some things or do whatever they need to do to get back for hopefully regular tourism coming through again. So that's very nice. So again, I'm not confident with the name, so I'm just going to say the director of Hanoi's tourism department said the regional sports event is an opportunity for the tourism industry to promote the nation's image among foreign tourists as a safe and friendly destination. Nice. And Hanoi expects the event to catalyze post-pandemic tourism recovery, with 3.2 visitors expected in the second quarter. That seems good. I don't know how that compares, but I guess that sounds good. In a quarter, so in 3 months. And 3 million domestic. Okay. So so lots of internal tourism. So that's including 3 million domestic tourists and 150 to 200,000 international tourists. And I guess very much helped by these games. Okay. So Long said Southeast Asia is a very diverse region in terms of religion and culture. So travel companies and hotels serving guests on the occasion of the Southeast Asian Games need to pay close attention to cuisine and culture, especially Muslim guests. I guess that makes sense just generally anyway, to be able to be flexible and it's not necessarily just based on religion, it's also based on, here they said religion and culture, but you can also have things like dietary requirements, I guess, is a very common thing for, particularly for hotels, if they've got restaurants or they're serving breakfast, that sort of thing. And travel companies, when they're looking for restaurants and hotels to stay in, they need to make sure that if people are vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, or whatever the case may be for their diet, if they need food to be halal, whatever the case may be. So yes. So this is again the half from the Lux Group. So he is expected to see more foreign tourists during the upcoming sports event. Okay, so I hope the number of foreign tourists arriving in Vietnam during the Southeast Asian Games next month increases by 5 to 10% against pre-pandemic levels. Okay, that would be interesting if that was achieved, and the government would relax. Okay, so I'm not sure if this means that's happening, or he hopes for this as well. And the government would relax visa policies for nationals of more countries to give the inbound tourism market a boost. Okay, so I guess that's still the want. So there's hoping for both of these things. So Vietnam has resumed its pre-pandemic visa policies for Southeast Asian countries or nations. Member states, Japan, South Korea, and several European nations. Okay. And I guess that's the end of the story. Okay, that is the end of the story. Okay, we've got these tags here. Nice. Okay, so that's interesting. Let's have fingers crossed and hope that works out well. This looks like a very interesting place to visit. Looks very busy there with the cars. Looks to be cars everywhere. Well, not obviously apart from this space here on the right, but yeah, lots of cars, lots of tourists. Looks like an enjoyable place. It's interesting. The air there looks very misty. I'm not sure if that's just the time of day or the weather coming through, or if that's pollution, or I'm not sure what that is. Maybe that's just I know sometimes you have like the clouds hanging low in certain countries or cities and stuff. So maybe it's just the natural environment, and there's like mist hangs around for a while. And maybe could be early morning. I don't know. I guess perhaps it could be early morning, and it's a bit chilly because everyone's wearing long sleeved and everyone's dressed up with warm clothes, let's say. Okay, so that's interesting. So it's a nice story. Got some nice vocabulary as well. It's Vietnamese Express International is the newspaper there. So very, very nice to read. Okay, so what we might do is just a quick reminder that this is Have a Tea with Me. We are here for English language conversation practice. So if you're learning English, you want to practice your English speaking and conversation skills, we are here for you. So in the chat, you will see a link, particularly, well, if you're on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, you will see the link. On Twitter, you will need to go to one of the other three. So if you click on that link, you can come on through and have a chat with us live, practice your speaking and conversation skills in English. If this is not a good time for you and you prefer maybe some other time to have a chat, you can always send us an email, chatonlessonjigsaw@gmail.com. Let us know where you are in the world, your time zone, and maybe some general days and times when you might be available. We can see if we can arrange to do a live stream with you at a time that's more convenient. We can always see if we can do that. So we're going to leave it there for today. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming here, for liking, subscribing, following, all that sort of stuff. And we'll see you next time. Hope you're having a great day, happy day, and staying healthy. And we'll see you next time. Take care. See you later.